It's taken the European Union 8 years to get to this point. That's how long the discussion on how to run the European Union has taken. We're still not quite there because the Czech president, Václav Klaus, still has to sign the treaty. But we think he probably will. So probably by the end of this year, all the member states will have signed the treaty. And what that means is that finally we'll have a Europe that is well organised. It's an efficient system for running a 27 member state organisation. So we'll be able to focus going forward much less on internal stuff, much more on the stuff that matters to people. So the economy, climate change, crime, terrorism, those kind of issues. Public affairs was, lobbying if you like, was an American invention. So really in Europe it's only been big business since maybe the 1980s, and I would say it's getting steadily more sophisticated. Client expectations are growing all the time. Client in-house resources are growing all the time. So you have to deliver a much, much higher quality product than used to be the case. And obviously we live in a global world. Lots of big companies want public affairs across borders, so you have to be able to deliver for them, not just in one country, but often in several, and of course in Brussels as well. And gradually the market's growing. So as you say, we've opened recently in Berlin. We've now got a very successful operation in Paris, and we can effectively provide public affairs across Europe, partly through use of affiliates, wherever our clients need it. The first thing is to remind people is that we were named last year as UK Public Affairs Consultancy of the Year, so we're right up there at the top of the market. Yes, we have a general election in the UK next spring, probably May. Yes, the expectation is that we'll have a new Conservative government, probably with a majority of around 100. So obviously what most clients want is to get close to the incoming government, much less interested than they were in the past in Labour. Many of them are also interested in the Liberal Democrats because a possible outcome is a hung parliament where the Liberal Democrats have a role to play. So that's important too. So that's where most of our attention is right now. And obviously in terms of issues, issues come and go, but anything to do with the environment, energy, that's big business for us right now. Mm-hmm. Hard to tell. I was at an event in Brussels a couple of weeks ago, a big big dinner, opinion formers and decision makers, and they actually did a poll of the, 300 people in the room, asked them who should be president of the European Union. Interestingly, although most of the audience, I would guess, were not British, Tony Blair was far and away the most popular choice.
Not in Britain, that's good.
Second most popular choice was someone that I guess most Americans will have never heard of, Jean-Claude Juncker, who is Prime Minister of Luxembourg. So there are quite a few people who think Tony Blair is not suitable because he's too high profile, they don't like the role he played in the Iraq War. So we're talking about people like Juncker, Peter Balkenende, the Harry Potter lookalike, who's Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Paavo Lipponen, a former Finnish president, Mary Robinson, former president of Ireland. Too hard to say. I think Blair may well get it. It will all depend on Angela Merkel. I think her vote will be decisive. Just to say what an exciting time it is to be doing this stuff in Europe. You know, we're kind of, a couple of weeks' time we have the 20th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. Europe's changed completely in the last 20 years. There are so many both personal and business opportunities. It's a very exciting place to be.